I'm ready. What up? Let's get to it. So, as we know, the Vikings are in the playoffs. Got a game coming up Monday versus them Rams. I'm not sure if people have forgotten, but it's a lot of speculation and rumors about things that I think at this certain point in time don't matter, shouldn't matter, you know. But I understand it's part of the media, part of the process. Everybody wants the stories, et cetera, et cetera. The beat writers, the list goes on. Everybody wants the story. So, with that being said, it's been rumors, speculations, especially from so called experts and analysts. We're going to talk about Mel Kiper and what he had to say about JJ McCarthy potentially being traded by the Vikings. Now, like I said, first thing is, why does it even matter? Huh? Who cares? Huh? Why is that even being something that's talked about, spoke about, etc.? The Vikings have a playoff game coming up. Who cares, if JJ McCarthy could potentially get traded or could not? At the end of the day, guess what? We need no distractions, homie. You hear me? That's why I can't stand when certain so-called experts, analysts get involved in Vikings business, huh? Vikings business. Heavy, dog. It's enough distractions with the wildfires going on in California, the game being moved to Arizona, huh? And prayers and condolences to the families and people out there in California going through this catastrophe. Mother Nature is real. Mother Nature is real, huh? Humanity cannot escape Mother Nature. Bottom line, no cap. But prayers and condolences to the families and people being affected once again. Heavy, may they get that issue resolved quickly and swiftly, huh? But at the end of the day, I don't care about whether or not JJ McCarthy will get traded or could potentially get traded, at least not now. Yeah, at least not now, dog. Period. We got playoffs on the line, homie. One and done, dog. And we talking about JJ McCarthy, whether he gets traded or not. Nah, kill that noise, homie. Let's talk about what the Vikings need to do to be successful and make a playoff push, playoff run, huh? That's my main concern, main focus. So all this other rat poison and all this other extra noise, huh? I hope the Vikings are killing that noise. You hear me? Bottom line. And at the end of the day, guess what? It all depends on how Sam Darnold plays. Have we forgotten that? Yeah, no cap. It depends on how Sam Darnold plays. Does he play great football? Does he fold again like he did versus the Lions, dog? Do the big lights get to him? Does he revert back to the old Sam Darnold where the experts and critics write critiquing him, saying, oh, we've seen this before. This is Sam Darnold. This is the true Sam Darnold. Period. So it depends on how Darnold plays. Does he ball out or not? That will definitely affect Minnesota Vikings' next move when it comes to JJ McCarthy and Sam Darnold. You ask me, I don't think they should even think about trading McCarthy unless you can get some heavy draft capital, huh? Heavy draft capital. Now we can look at it at the aspect as in they signed Jones. Could Jones be a solid number 2 quarterback? Could him and Sam Darnold compete for a position? What could KOC create in Daniel Jones? Could he give him a rebirth to his career like he did with the likes of Kirk Cousins, like he's doing with Sam Darnold right now as we speak? Yeah. So I understand it's a lot of factors that will have to be worked out. A lot of variables, dog, that will make determining decisions. Right? But at the end of the day, it's on Darnold, homie. Can Darnold lead this team on a playoff push? And if he does, like I said in previous videos, numerous videos, don't expect the Vikings just to come off him. Now, if he comes out versus the Rams and piss poor again, throwing interceptions, inaccurate, shit, rattled in the pocket, can't get it together, can't calm it down, losing control, then we ain't got nothing more to talk about. You hear me? Sam Darnold up out of there. JJ McCarthy is the future, the new guy, the new quarterback in town. But let's not forget, Daniel Jones is right there as well. You hear me? So whoever's the so-called starter, whether it's Sam Darnold or JJ McCarthy, they're going to have to compete with Daniel Jones. Period. No cap. Yeah, heavy, dog. So no one will know the real answer until the playoffs or the Super Bowl, the whole season is over. And we see where the Vikings stand at the end of it all when the smoke clears, huh? You hear me? So all this extra bullshit talk means nothing right now. Nothing, dog. Heavy. Let's get to the article, though, man, while we at it. Mel Kiper yapping and capping, as he always does. Huh? You hear me? Let's get to this, man. They're throwing the Giants in there. Come on, bro. Give me a second, man. We throwing the Giants into the equation, into the mix. Here we go, man. NFL draft expert speculates on JJ McCarthy's future with the Minnesota Vikings. It could be an interesting offseason for the Minnesota Vikings and former Michigan quarterback JJ McCarthy. The Vikings drafted McCarthy 10th overall in last year's NFL draft. Minnesota traded up a spot to select its future franchise quarterback, but a meniscus injury sidelined McCarthy for the entire 2024 season. Instead, veteran Sam Darnold has shined on a one-year deal, and it's left most people speculating what's in store for McCarthy. Excuse me. ESPN's draft guru, so-called draft guru, Mel Kiper Jr., insists that the New York Giants could be in play for McCarthy. The Giants currently have the number 3 pick in the draft, and Kiper Jr. believes New York could send that to the Vikings for McCarthy. Now we're kind of talking. Heavy, right? You know, since speculations are being made, would this make sense? The number 3 pick overall in next year's draft. And as we know, the Vikings don't have a lot of draft capital, right? So let's say if Sam Darnold balls out, leads the Minnesota Vikings on a playoff run, maybe even potentially to the Super Bowl, huh? Then I'm gonna have to say yeah on this. You hear me? No cap, dog. The number 3 pick. So not only do you have your franchise future quarterback in Sam Darnold, huh? Still young, still strong, etc. Still gonna improve and get better. But you get the number 3 overall pick. You got cornerbacks in there, defensive tackle, defensive linemen in there. We know the Vikings struggling in the trenches. That's been their weakest point for years upon years. So they can finally nip that situation in the bud, correct? But I'm saying hell to the yeah. If this is real reality and the New York Giants, you know, they will be in need of a quarterback. Everybody's saying they'll draft shooter Sanders or Cam Ward. At the end of the day, I'm sure people think JJ McCarthy is better than both of them. More of an upside, has 1 year in the NFL, even though he's been injured, huh? Right? No cap. So he has a year more of experience than both of those guys. I think he's even younger than Cam Ward and Sanders. Actually, every quarterback in the draft, you hear me? So if Sam Darnold balls out and the Vikings could get a number 3 draft pick in the 25 drafts, I gotta say hell yeah, dog. No disrespect to JJ, but I gotta say yeah to this. Believe that. This year's quarterback class is less than enticing, with Cam Ward and Shadur Sanders headlining the spot. McCarthy would be the likely top pick coming out of college if he had stayed one more season with Michigan. With that in mind, the Giants, who needs a quarterback, could throw some picks the Vikings' way if they chose to stick with Darnold moving forward. I think it's going to be JJ McCarthy, Kiper said Wednesday on Unsportsmanlike Radio. JJ McCarthy is a year younger than Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. He's had a year in the NFL. He's coming off an injury. But if you look at his grade last year compared to the grades this year of the quarterbacks, he would be the number one guy. He would be ahead of Drew Aller. Drew Aller had a piss poor game versus Notre Dame, correct as well. He would certainly be ahead of Cam and Shedeur. So I think JJ McCarthy, the decision the Vikings make based on how Sam Darnold plays in the playoffs, will determine JJ McCarthy's fate. Them only having a first round and 2/5, they may say, hey, if we can get 3 draft picks for JJ McCarthy, maybe let's do it. Oh, yeah, you will do it, dog. You will do it. But once again, it all depends on the play of Sam Darnold. How he looks, does he perform well on the big stage? Heavy. Assuming Sam Darnold plays really well in the playoffs, if he doesn't, then obviously they're keeping JJ and let it play out that way, of course. Franchise tag Sam, keep JJ, move on from there and see how that plays out. But I think JJ McCarthy's situation is going to be really interesting to see what happens there. Do they keep him or do they trade him? And it is what it is, homie. You hear me, dog? What's this here? Oh, this Mel Kiper yapping, capping, huh? This Mel capping and yapping, huh? We ain't got to do all that. Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell has made it clear how he feels about McCarthy, and he believes the former Michigan great is Minnesota's future franchise signal caller. But if Darnold could lead Minnesota to the promised land and get through the playoffs unscathed, it will become even more interesting to see how Minnesota will handle McCarthy moving forward. And little side note in there, dog, guess what? Just because Kevin O'Connell has made it clear that he loves McCarthy, that McCarthy will be their future quarterback, he said the same thing about Kirk. Yeah, he talked about how much he wanted Kirk, how badly he wanted him to return next year. You know, he wanted Kirk on the team this year, period. But what happened? Different factors. Kirk didn't want to do the hometown discount because he's a fucking liar. Kirk didn't want to work, do a team-friendly deal. He tried to get over once again. So Kevin O'Connell had to make maneuvers, change his position where he stood on it. And the same thing could very well happen with McCarthy. Yeah. Same thing could very well happen with McCarthy, right? Sam Darnold balls out, goes crazy, leads them all the way even. Then you have a real conundrum to figure out. And that's part of the game, part of the NFL business, part of the process, right, dog? Heavy. So we're going to see how it turns out. But I don't like all this extra speculation talk when the Vikings got a playoff game coming up. No cap, you hear me? I don't like that, dog. I stand on that 10 toes down, straight up. But that's my take, my opinion on it. Fire them comments up. Feedback is much appreciated. Let me know how you feel about the video. If Sam Darnold goes crazy in the playoffs in a good way and balls the hell out, do you think it would make sense for the Vikings to trade JJ McCarthy? Let me know. Let me know. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell. Make sure you hit that bell. Takes less than 1 second, Support the grind, support the channel. Big SKOL here. SKOL Vikes, win, lose, or draw. Heavy. Yeah.